I like to think it self-evident that the Unity Corps was founded under the basis of the Progressive Party. For those of you who do not know what that was, being a U.S. party in the early 19s, birthed by Roosevelt's actions, and secured under the faith that their century, the 20th century, would be the age of reunification for the nation and the world through diplomatic and humanistic means. Of course, the Great War shattered the Progressive Party. You see, it represented human faith in one another, and the belief that technology could be the key to peace. And as we all know, when the Great War ended, because of the death tolls and because of the use of machines and chemicals to slaughter, it left people demoralized by the idea of progress in such a fashion. It left us lost, and uninterested or willing to see where our dreams could go. Because of this, the Progressive Party slowly died after the war, its leadership trying to re-inspire anyone it could. But it was over. Humanity had shed too much of her own blood in too little time to get back up. And we were in shell shock for our own crimes against one another, our own sins against our own brothers and sisters. It was over. The 20th century, despite all the technology it would accomplish and gain, was no longer inspired by that technology or that faith in one another. And where the Progressive Party sought to unify the world, starting with our nation, America, the greatest, the United States, it failed because of the mistakes of others. But having said that, yes, I do like to think it perhaps self-evident that the Unity Corps is, in a sense, the redeemer of what was once the Progressive Party, or at least the truest of coming redeemers to the ideology of human unity and progress by any positive manner able and good. Even more coincidental, we, the Unity Corps, were founded in the year you can say the Progressive Party began to die, 2014. Just like in 1914, when the Great War ignited. Not for America, of course, not yet, but when it was truly founded. It was never planned for us to be created. I, being 17 at the time, did not anticipate making my own political party. I was preoccupied with school and girls. But in that winter, it came to me that perhaps it is the right and honorable responsibility of my generation, your generation, to save the world. You see, our parents and their parents have done a good job enough of making a muck of our species and our nation, sending our own flesh and blood into needless wars and needless political battles that maybe it's just too silly to allow them to continue into our century, the 21st century, where our generation is truly the first. To allow the old and the irrational and the biased and the corrupt to tarnish our new era with their old stains and their old horrid ways, it would be a crime against ourselves. It would be like shooting ourselves in the foot to allow our parents, despite the wisdom many of the good have brought, to rule over us in the 21st century as they seek to do, as their parties seek to do. So yes, for the more distinct origins, the Unity Corps was founded in 2014's winter, has a sense of being the next step, the solution to our problems. The opportunity for my generation, for your generation, for your children's generation, to be that golden key, that golden ticket, that road of silver, to something greater, to something that will not have to be robbed and ruined by the ways of the old, by the ways of those who have lost their way, and now seek out greed and retribution and all those other things that we have not yet gotten to the point of needing to seek out because we're so young, we're so new. This is our home. But of course I'm getting distracted. It's 2015 as I speak, and no great war has begun just yet. We're already going to do better than those who came before us in that sense. Our generation is also enamored by the potential of our own creations, something that died along the way in the early and mid-20th century. And while it continued, it was just gone, a walking corpse, a broken shadow of its former self. So in a way, our origins are quite similar to that of other renowned parties in the United States. The Democratic Party being formed to resolve that of the Federalists at our great birth. The Republican Party to resolve that of the Democrats at our finest moment of maturity. And now, alas, the Unity Corps to resolve the constant rabble and banter of both the Democratic and Republican parties. Equally old and equally corrupted by the affiliation of business and raw wealth in the system of our politics. Politics that affects you no matter how old you may be, and will affect your children and their children long after you and they are gone. Yes, I think it is safe to say our inspirational origins were conceived in the idea of a new party built on progress and unity similar to that of the progressives in the early 90s. But that the actual foundation of our party being just in the winter of 2014, when I along with one other decided it to be the responsibility of our own to reclaim this world, and in doing so serve as the solution to our past, present problems, and the tool of a new era that will without a doubt send us back into the stars looking for so much more. Yes. If you want to know the origins of the Unity Corps, that is, those are the origins. That is the story, as short as it may be. There is nothing grand or noble to it. Our birth, our conception, you can say, was founded on the idea of hope, of love, of a belief in ourselves and our own and our brothers and our sisters across the world. You could say, rather than creating it to control someone or to present a new way of doing things that you think is better, it is more of a desperate act. Perhaps the Unity Corps' creation is that desperate act of a new era trying to survive being muffled down by the old.